The vampire girl had only taken a single sip of blood when she was suddenly impaled like a porcupine by a sacred sword. Then, a barrage of holy books followed, sealing off the entire corridor into a barrier that allowed entry but no escape. All of this was the work of a man who called himself a Vatican priest. His mission was to eliminate all abnormalities in this world, including vampires. But faced with such a powerful enemy, Alucard showed no fear at all. In fact, he seemed almost excited. Seeing this, the priest immediately drew his blade and attacked. Alucard instinctively fired his handgun, but his shots were easily countered by the priest's holy sword. Caught off guard, he took 2 slashes. Even while heavily wounded, however, he managed to fire a shot that hit the priest in the head. Yet the priest was even more relentless. He took the bullet head on and stood back up completely unharmed. 2 blades then pierced straight through Alucard's chest. Though it was unclear how the priest could withstand such damage, Alucard still managed to fire again, hitting the priest's limbs. To everyone's shock, the priest charged once more. Alucard's attacks were no longer effective. The priest flicked dozens of throwing knives from his sleeves. Alucard shot down a few, but 2 still pierced his hands. Then, the priest drew his ancestral holy sword and forcibly pinned Alucard to a window. Any ordinary being would have died from such an attack, especially after the priest personally severed Alucard's head. But as the king of vampires, Alucard could not be destroyed so easily. In just a few seconds, the vampire king was reborn once again. Even after the priest cut off his arms once more, he was able to regenerate instantly. At that point, the priest realized he was no match. After leaving a threat to return another day, he abandoned the fight and withdrew from the scene.